Hey everybody, and welcome to episode 83 of the Chic Podcast. It has been a while and I don't have a reason. The podcast's been a wee bit of a shit show lately. The last half of the year, I feel like every time I've come on and recorded one, it's been with true intentions of getting the ground running again, getting the podcast up and going again, and then something else has just come in the way. So I think moving forward, not putting pressure on myself and saying that I'm going to do it every week, but instead I'm going to release 2 a month, one with a guest, one with me, and if I do any more, then it's a bonus. This is a bit of a spur of the moment podcast. I was just out having a very slow Saturday and I thought about stuff that I'd seen online about the festive season, and I just thought, you know what, I'm going to go and record that. I'm going to just speak a little bit about things that might help you over the festive season. So as always, I have notes because that's what helps me. So I'm unsure what I'm even going to title this, right? But what I want to say is, see if you're someone who's feeling super stressed, you've got a million things to do. That was me before I came away on this workation. Then give yourself permission to stop. Yeah. Your to-do list is always going to be there. Your to-do list is never going to be finished. It's always going to get longer. It's always going to be there. So what I would recommend you give yourself permission to stop and brain dump. Something that's helped me is just massively, every time something's in my head, I'm just writing it down. Okay, number 2, if you're feeling overwhelmed, take a deep breath. Think about a cleansing breath, right? So in through the nose all the way to the belly button and out. Literally just stop and say, hang on, take a breath. And instantly you'll feel shoulders going down. You'll just feel a little bit calmer. Now your breath is one of the most underutilised tools that is quite a basic function. It's very easy to use and it's good for stress busting. So if you're unsure how to do breath work, there's loads of different variations. What I would do is hop onto YouTube and just have a look and find one that works for you. If you try one that doesn't work for you, just try another one. There's different kinds of breath work. Number 3, if you are feeling lonely, just know that it's absolutely normal. I think Christmas is this big highlight. I enjoy Christmas, I love Christmas, but for me, my Christmas has changed over the years. You know, when my grandma's here, it was big, massive family gatherings. Then when she left, it was some family gatherings. To now, it'll just be me, my dad, my brother this year, and Lexi, which I absolutely love. But I think it's important just to remember that it's not this fancy thing that you see in the adverts on the TV. It's not the highlight reels that you see on people's social media. And people can feel lonely, and it's quite natural to feel lonely in this time. The thing that I would suggest that you do is work on your relationship with yourself, because you can literally be the best company to yourself. You just have to work on building that relationship. And remember that you can be lonely in amongst hundreds of people. It's not about the amount of people you've got around you, it's about how you feel, and that's very relevant. Okay, number 4, if you feel any of these emotions, I would suggest that you practice gratitude. So frustration, they're not all emotions, but if you feel any of these basically, so frustration, confusion, anger, distracted, disappointment, sadness, practice gratitude. If you're disappointed in somebody over the festive period, practice gratitude. If you're angry at somebody, practice gratitude. If you're frustrated at the kids being too slow or the dog not wanting to go out, practice gratitude, because it will pay off for you and your relationship to yourself. It all ties in. I also just want to take this time to remind you that you don't need to do it all. It is okay to say no, and in fact, something that we stand with in the Warrior Chicks is if it's not a fuck yes, then it's a no. Alright, there's no you say maybe land. There's just yes, there's no. And if it's a possibility would maybe do that, then it's a no. So if it's not a fuck yes, it has to be a no. You need to protect your boundaries, and this is what this time is about. It's about putting boundaries up, putting things around you to protect you. You don't need to get yourself into debt Alright, I see this time and time again, year after year. Credit cards being shuffled, people still paying things back in June, then it starts again in August. And yes, we live in a very materialistic world, but you don't need to be materialistic. You could simply be more present with your family. You can make better memories by playing games, being more present. And you know, maybe if you have kids, this can be quite difficult, but try and practice this with them, teach them that it's more about creating memories, spending time together, and what you do in those moments, as opposed to a toy that they'll play with for a couple of days. Finally, a mince pie is a mince pie, right? No amount of mince pies equals X amount of burpees. You do not have to burn any food off that you eat. You can't burn food off that you eat anyway, but just eat the food that you want to eat and then pick it back up the next day the way you normally would eat. A mince pie is a mince pie, guys. Don't need the burpees for that. I hope this has helped somebody out there, and if it has, I would greatly appreciate if you could like, comment, share, subscribe, and help me reach more women. Thank you.